Are you a coach who's looking to take on more clients but you have no idea what to charge? Are you stuck selling your coaching by the hour but you want to start selling packages? If you like the idea of offering coaching packages but you have no idea how to price it, you're in luck because in this video, I'm going to teach you how to do exactly that. Hey, CourtneyLSanders here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, I'm a full-time wife and mom as well as entrepreneur. I wear all the hats. I do all the things. I'm actually fresh back from maternity leave, so I'm now a mom of 2 kids, which is really cool, but that's neither here nor there because in this video, I'm talking to you about how to price your coaching packages, which I know is a big question that a lot of people have. And in fact, I had this question when I first got into coaching and I was looking to quit my job. So if you've heard my story, you know that I've been doing this online for a really long time, but I got very serious in 2015, started learning more about coaching packages in 2016, and actually was able to quit my job Labor Day of 2016, so in September. And learning how to price my coaching packages was a big reason why I was able to do this, because one, I was lowballing myself, I was not charging nearly enough, and the crazy thing was when I was lowballing myself, I was having the hardest time getting anybody to say yes. But once I learned how to properly package a coaching package and how to really charge my value, that's when the floodgates opened. Everyone said yes. I had a wait list and I was able to quit my job, and now I've been doing it full time ever since. So if you want to know how to price your coaching packages, this is the video for you. In fact, let's get into it. All right, before I get into the exact prices that I think that you should be charging, or at least some benchmarks, it's important to understand, number one, the ROI that your coaching package offers. So a lot of coaches lowball themselves because they're thinking in terms of what somebody else is charging, right? So maybe they see some other coach and they don't even know if that coach is being successful, if they're landing clients. They just see that they're pricing it at XYZ price, and so they're like, oh, I'm gonna come under them and I'm gonna charge this other price so that hopefully I can get clients, and then they wonder why it doesn't work out and they fall flat on their face. No, you do not want to do that. You really want to think through what is the ROI that you are offering for your coaching package, and not just for the package, but the result that someone would hope to get if they work with you. So if you're a health coach and you have some sort of health coaching package, what is the result that they're going to get, and what's the ROI for that? If you're a business coach, obviously, what's going to change in their business? Is there a monetary thing that they're going to expect that they can earn in their business? If you are a relationship coach, are they going to have an amazing online dating profile? I don't know. Are they going to have a date next Valentine's Day? Whatever the result is that you offer, again, it doesn't have to be monetary, but it needs to be something really specific and tangible. Whatever that result is, you really want to think through, what is it worth to that person? And so I talk about this a lot actually in my video all about how to create premium coaching packages, which you can check out here or here, wherever it comes up on the screen. But specifically, you really want to think through what people are already paying to get that result. So you might say, oh, but my ROI is not a monetary thing. I help people get in shape or whatever. Well, again, you want to think through, what are people spending money on, in order to get that result? And think about all the ways, are they spending money at the gym or, with another fitness trainer, but are they spending money on, gastric bypass surgery, on some sort of plastic surgery? Like, people can spend the gamut of money when it comes to getting a specific result, even if it's not something like helping people, grow their business or helping people get into investing in the stock market or whatever. So you really want to think through, what is the ROI that you're offering and what is it worth to your target market? All right, and the second thing you want to consider before I get into those price points is how much of your time is actually going to be involved in delivering this coaching package. So the great thing about being a coach is you can structure it however you want. You don't have to say, oh, I'm going to do, once a week, weekly calls or whatever. There's a variety of different ways that you can structure your coaching package so that it works for both your client and for you. But you really want to sit down and ask yourself, how much of my time is actually involved in that? And when I say how much of your time is involved, because a lot of new coaches make this mistake, and this was my mistake too, you don't just want to think through like, okay, I'm giving them 6 hourly coaching sessions and a follow-up call. Oftentimes we think just within the package, like, okay, I'm going to show up at XYZ between this time and this time, therefore this coaching package is only going to take me 6 hours to deliver. You also have to factor in the prep work that goes into that, not just getting ready for the call on the day of, but also the prep work that goes into researching. Are you going to be researching this client's, health challenges if you're a health coach? Are you going to be researching whatever's going on there in their life if you're a life coach? Are you going to be researching their business? Are you going to be looking at their finances if you're a finance coach? Like whatever that pre-prep work that you have to do in order to kind of get up to speed on the client, you need to factor in that time as well. And then if there's any ongoing work that you're going to be doing while you're working with them. So yeah, maybe you only meet weekly on Wednesdays between 2 and 3 p.m. for that hour, but maybe you're doing research, on their business if you're a business coach in between time, or you're doing research about, again, their health challenges, or if you're a fashion coach or stylist or something, and you're doing research on different looks that they could wear to, some event or whatever they hired you for. Like if there's any extra work involved in making sure that your client gets the best result, you also want to factor in and estimate how much of your time is that going to take you, and then are you charging at least a baseline just for your time? And so you might not know, well, how much do I charge for my time? Obviously you don't want to charge like $15 an hour, $12 an hour, or anything like that. It's actually very simple. You just want to take the gross revenue that you want to make per year, and then you want to divide it by the number of hours that you realistically want to work in your business. So if you want to do 40 hours a week and you want to make X amount, then go ahead and divide that up. You can annualize it or whatever, and then you can come up with ultimately what you would want to be factoring in per hour. So notice I didn't say charging per hour, because you don't want to charge by the hour. That's actually not a good idea, but you do want to have that hourly number in the back of your head so that you can factor that into your coaching packages. All right, so before I get into some specific price points, I want to hear from you. What do you charge for your coaching packages? Go ahead and put it in the comments below. All right, so as I said, you never want to charge by the hour. It's okay to come up with your hourly rate and kind of factor that into your package, but you never want to charge by the hour. You want to charge by the package. And so while I can't give a specific number for everybody's, coaching packages, because it's going to be different based on, again, if you're a business coach, if you're a health coach, whatever, I will give some like baseline parameters, especially for my women coaches out there, because I feel like we lowball ourselves all the time. I just get flabbergasted. I see people who are offering coaching packages, 6 months of coaching for $250. And I'm like, girl, what are you doing? So here's a floor, here's a baseline. For even just like a minimum package, I don't care if you're just a beginner or whatever, I never want to see anybody offering minimum less than $1,500 for like a minimum tiny coaching package. And that's technically like not even what I would want you to price it at, but just make that a floor for yourself where you're like, okay, I'm not going to charge less than that. And I say that because I have gotten on too many calls with, aspiring coaches or new coaches or people who have been in the game for a while. And again, they're charging like, $100 a session or a total of $500 for the package. And it's like, come on, like, how is that even not only worth your time, but when you factor in all the work you have to do and just like your own overhead, like you're really not making any money. So bare minimum for like a short term, small package, I need you to set a floor at $1,500. But what I like to advise my clients to do, and I found that this price point works for a variety of different types of coaching. So again, if you're a dating coach, if you're a health coach, it's not just for business coaches or finance coaches, because I get that a lot too. Oh, only business coaches and finance coaches can charge those kind of price. Not true. I see a lot of coaches, life coaches outside of the business and money arena that can charge a lot more than this. But what I like to advise my clients just to get started when they're getting up to speed and they're getting those testimonials and kind of getting in a rhythm is I like to see them charge anywhere from $2,500 to $3,500 for their first kind of core package. And again, this is just to get your feet wet. We're starting here. We're not ending here. And so if you're watching this might seem like a lot of money to you because maybe you've never charged this before. Maybe you've never even paid this before for your own coach, which, you should, if you are a coach, you should have a coach in some arena, but that's, besides the point. But I like to advise that because again, we don't want to overload ourselves. We want to make sure that we are getting our clients the best results. And so I find that if you can do between $2,500 and $3,500 to start for your baseline base coaching package, then you really only need, 3 to 4 in order to hit 10K. And 10K is a good baseline in your coaching business that you want to be hitting consistently before you start to scale up, because 10K is, I find, enough for you to cover your expenses, because remember, you're a business owner, so all the money that comes in doesn't go to your pockets. It goes to, your Wi-Fi, it goes to your email marketing software, maybe it goes to a virtual assistant. Like, you're gonna have expenses, right? Advertising. So you want to make sure that you're bringing in at least 10K, I find, because that's enough to cover some bare minimum expenses, if you have a small coaching practice and you're just getting started, and give you a good enough salary that allows most people to quit their job. So that's really what you want to aim for. And so if you're aiming for 10K, then I find that doing a coaching package between $2,500 and $3,500, at least just to get started, is enough to get you 10K, monthly, or 10K on a consistent basis. So that's really what you want to be shooting for. Okay, and I know some of you might have some mindset issues around this, so I just want to address this really quick. But coaching is not supposed to be cheap, okay? Coaching is not supposed to be cheap. And this might be a shock to you, but I'll say it because it's true. Coaching is not a necessity. In many respects, it's a luxury. And when I say it's a luxury, I don't mean it's a luxury like a designer handbag, but I mean it's a luxury in the sense that it's not a bare necessity. It's something that you want that is extra on top of your necessities, right? And so coaching is really something extra that you put on top of your life in order to achieve your goals. So if you are a goal-oriented person, and your clients will be goal-oriented people and they want to achieve more, they understand that to some degree this is a luxury that they are getting and that they are embarking on so that they can do better and achieve more, and again, do extra, do above and beyond. So it's not our bare minimum and it's not our bare necessities. It's something that we're doing because we want to achieve extra, right? So by definition, it is a luxury to a degree. And so I don't say that to say that it has to be the most expensive in the world, but you have to think through that and understand that you do yourself a disservice, and you do your clients a disservice when you discount so heavily or you charge so low, because when you charge low, you're not really able to show up and give the type of service and give the type of transformation that your clients are engaging you for in the first place. Again, they want to go above and beyond, and they know that it's going to take, they know it's going to take hand holding and all of that. And so they need you to show up as your best self. And if you're charging $200, $300 for a package, and you can barely pay your coaching bills, you're moonlighting on the side, you want to quit your job, but what's coming in is not enough, you're constantly going to have your focus divided and be thinking about, oh, I need to get another client over here, and maybe I should do this in my business, and maybe I should put money towards this. And it just creates a lot of stress where you can't be present with the client that you're working with and really help them get a result. So understand me and hear me when I say coaching is not supposed to be cheap, but it's this way for a reason. It really does you a service, obviously, because it allows you to show up as your best self, because you're getting paid what you need to be paid in order to show up and do your best work. And it allows you to really do your best work for your client. So it's in service to both you and your clients. So hopefully these baseline numbers will help you think through your own packages. Again, these are a starting point. Make sure you're paying attention to the ROI that you're providing and the time that you're putting into it, but definitely don't charge any lower than the numbers that we talked about just now. All right, I hope this is really helpful. I hope this put a fire under you to go ahead and price your coaching packages appropriately. But what's the point of pricing your coaching packages if you don't have anybody to buy them, right? You need clients. And so if you're really looking to get clients, you can learn my entire client attraction process for free in my free client attraction masterclass. So you can check that out. It is a great masterclass that I do that really walks you through everything you need to know in order to consistently attract clients without a big following or doing ads or doing a big launch or any of those internet marketing things that you've probably heard before. So go ahead and click the link below, or you can go to CourtneyLSanders.com/masterclass in order to join. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And if you want more, but you don't want to wait until my next video comes out, come on over to my podcast on iTunes and Spotify. It's called The Courtney Sanders Show, and I share lots of great business tips, but also I talk about finances and wealth building and family stuff and personal development stuff and faith stuff and just stuff. I talk about a lot of different things, so come on and join me over there. And if you can't wait until my next video and my next podcast, you're just super impatient, then come on over to my Instagram where I post pretty much every day and I share a lot of different tips and strategies that I'm sure you're gonna love. So go ahead and send me a DM on Instagram. Let me know you watched this video, and until next time, see you later. Bye.